Hey, what's up guys? Today we are lockdown day 500, something like that, I don't know. The benefits of lockdown is that we get to spend a hell of a lot more time with our families, which means you don't feel as guilty using a little bit of that time to make some beer. I'm running a little bit low on stocks. I've only got 2 kegs on at the moment, and the Kolsch that I made a few weeks ago has tasted superb. So what I'm going to do is another double batch. I've already doughed in. I'm using the SmartPID again. I contacted the developer about the issues I had with scorching on my kettle, and it turns out it's a configuration. So there's 3 different thresholds that calculate how much what percentage of power to use and for how long, and what kind of lag time to expect. So I've adjusted that now, and the mash is going on. It's chalk and cheese compared to my first 2 brews that I did, both of which I had a lot of scorching. I tried to use the auto configure option, and it just, I'm guessing I did something wrong, because he sent me the developer sent me some settings from a similar size system, 3 kilowatt element and 50 litre system, and I tracked it on the app. I've been tracking it. I'll put some screenshots up while I'm talking here, and you can see various parts, various stages in the process, how much more accurate it is, and how what originally it was ramping up to 100%, so 3 kilowatts, rather than slowly adjusting the wattage. So I'm really happy with it so far. I will still have to see if there's some scolding afterwards, but I think there's still some more fine tuning I can do, but I'm really happy with it already based on what I've seen on the app. So I'm now ready to mash out, and then we'll get on to the boil. So I'll show you a couple of steps. You guys have seen my brew days. This is more talking about the SmartPID and the benefits of having it. So you can set this thing to do 3 hours worth of stepped mashes with all the different protein rests, and you don't need to be here. You can just have it on the app, and the pump is automated, everything's automated, so you have recirculation, everything's there. Life's easier. Technology wins again. Come for the ride. Okay, we've reached the boil, so I'm going to put my hop bag in now and put the first hops in. The 60-minute hop drop, and I'm doing Cascade all the way. These are leaf hops that I had from a different recipe that I never made, so using them up. Okay, and then I'm going to turn the percentage down now, because I've got a really good rolling boil. I like to have that nice heavy rolling boil for a few minutes before I put the hops in. Gets me a good hot break, and then I can proceed to drop the wattage. So I'm going to change it now to about 70% or 60% output and monitor it. I'm just going to show you what I consider to be a slow rolling boil. What this does is I've now reduced my boil wattage down to 66% of the 3 kilowatts. You just want to see a bit of a boil. You don't want to boil off all the wort. You just end up with less beer, and you end up using more electricity. So we're sanitizing and sterilizing, and we're getting some hop bitterness in there. Anything over 79 degrees Celsius gives you a hop bitterness, and this is running at a nice 98 degrees Celsius, which is a boil for me. I'll show you. See, she's rolling nicely. Doesn't need to be anything more vigorous than that. There is a school of thought that says that boiling with too much of a vigorous boil can introduce oxygen into the wort, or can give you something which is called hot side oxidation. That's not my reason for doing this. My reasons are the minimum amount of wastage, really, on the electricity and on what's left that hasn't boiled off into steam. So yeah, all good so far. Okay, so all you've missed so far was my 20-minute hop drop. I'm going to do the 10-minute hop drop now, the Protoflock tablet, and I'll put the wort chiller in to give it that last little sterilizing run. Okay, so 10 minutes and we will start to chill it down. We'll see you at the transfer. Hey, so I also had to connect up the pipes here, and I've connected up the outlet that's going through the pump and through the whirlpool arm, which is going to cause a whirlpool in the inside the boil kettle. There's about 2 minutes left on the boil. I'm going to switch that off and then I'll switch the water on and we'll start to chill it down. So the cold water goes through the immersion chiller, takes the heat out with it. Okay, so that's the end of the boil. I've taken the hop bag out. I've started the cold water. You can see, if you come and have a look here in the kettle, you can see the whirlpool action already starting there, and that'll keep going, and all the trube will settle in the middle of the kettle, so when we take the wort out to go into the fermenter, we won't take all the trube with it. I'm just going to cover this up because it's a bit windy and we don't want bugs going in there. So that's it. And then what I do here, just a little tip, what I do here, and this is the water that's come out through the wort chiller, and that is, I mean, you can see the smoke coming with that. It's boiling hot. So I use that, I collect one fermenter full, an old fermenter, and I use that to clean the kettle. So that's my brew day done, guys, and really happy with the way the SmartPID worked. I'll probably come back at the end and show you the scalding that I've experienced, if there is any. Thank you. Okay, so the wort is down to 22 degrees Celsius. I've got that's the yeast cake from my last brew, so I'm going to pitch straight onto the yeast cake, which will mean I'll basically have about 3 or 4 times the amount of yeast from the first batch because it replicates, and so I should get a much more active ferment and a lot quicker ferment. So that's it for this video. This is what my last Kolsch looks like. It's a lovely crisp beer, and this one I used SARS. This one is Cascade, so she was a little bit more of a sort of fruity flavour to it than this, but this is I mean, the flavour on this is great, and I've used a new yeast on here, so one that I haven't used before, which is the Lollermund Köln yeast, and I love it, so I'm going to use it for second generation and probably harvest some after the ferment. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys, and I'll catch you on the next one. Hey guys, welcome back. Today is the drinking of the beer day, so I know there's a lot of Kolsch's lined up here, but I'm just going to do a pour. This is slightly undercarbonated. I've done 2 kegs of this. The first keg is finished, which I overcarbonated, but it was a really nice, heavily carbonated beer. This one's slightly undercarbonated, but still very tasty. I won't go for a full pint. I wanted to talk about the SmartPID. So let me gather the information for the programming. So the guy's name is David. I think he's Italian. He's made this system and programmed it, and I mean, it's just a little control system, but it's fantastic. They do this for barbecues and smokers and things as well. So there's another system, but it's also called the SmartPID. He basically sent me a thing saying that there are 3 settings. There's your KP, your KI, and your KD. I haven't looked any further into it. He said, here's a system that's a 3 kilowatt system, 50 litres. I've just copied that, because when I looked into my settings, even though I did the auto tune, I must have messed something up, because when I looked at all the settings, they were all set to 0. So that must have meant just maximum power ramp as fast as you can, etc. So this would have so now let me just chuck up the one of the screenshots I took from the app. So I was just working, and I was just watching it on the app while I was working, and I could see a really nice, you could see basically it shows you the temperature, it shows you the target temperature, and you'll see it sort of drop down below target temperature, and then it'll start to ramp the power up. It'll ramp the power, and then it'll start to get near the target temperature, and it'll ramp the power back down. So I had no scalding. The system worked flawlessly. I was really happy with it. It was only my fault that I was complaining before, because I hadn't looked into the details really about how to configure the system. I just thought out of the box, turn it on and auto-tune. So I was wrong there, and I'm really happy with the system. I'm super happy. So I've contacted Brad Smith, who develops Beersmith, because at the moment this only integrates with Brewfather, which is a newer, it's a newer brewing system, which is apparently is really good, and it seems like the development is very active on it. So they're exposing APIs to allow the brewing systems to you can plug a brew into your brewing system and then just send it over Wi-Fi to the controller, and the controller then knows your recipe, knows how long your mash is, the temperatures of your mash, all of those things. So I've also contacted David, and I've said, Brad's going to contact you, because obviously Brad Smith wants it to work, David wants it to work, everyone, it's a symbiotic kind of environment. Unfortunately, if it doesn't work, if they can't get it to work, then I will probably move to Brewfather because of that, because whilst I'm plugging a recipe in twice. Okay, sorry, so the last thing was that I just wanted to show you the beer. I had to top it up because my camera ran out of battery, so I lost the last few seconds, but she's tasting lovely. Bit of a banana-y ester in there, which I think is from that cone yeast, but it's going down a right treat. Look, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I've got a lot more time to make videos now, so if you want me to brew any kind of style or do any kind of mods or anything, just let me know and I'll give it a bash if I can. So take it easy guys, and I'll catch you on the next one.